You're listening to People Think About It. Delve into the world of relationships, business, and politics with hosts Lamar Clark, Dorshell Clark, and Dominique Hagler on People Think About It, where thought-provoking discussions abound.
Hey, welcome to People Think About It. Today's episode, we're calling it 48 Oysters. We want to talk about this young lady that went out on a date and ordered like 48 oysters and among other things. And it was their first date. The gentleman supposedly had asked her out for drinks to get to know her. So we're going to get a little into this thing today. We got to also welcome our guest in there, Brother Mustafa. He's going to give some input on it as well. He frequents the Atlanta scene, so he knows where this restaurant is at and everything. So let's go with it. Let's hear a little bit of this, what happened on this date.
I met a few weeks ago out with my friends. This nigga been texting me for weeks talking to himself. Why I didn't block him? Bitch, I don't know. But today I was bored and I had time, so he texted me like, can we meet for drinks? And I'm like, yeah, meet me here. They got the best fucking oysters in Atlanta, like, hands down. So I'm like, yes, I can get some content. Come on. It's so good.
As you see, she's slurping the oysters. So let's get into it. Let's get into this. So it was Oyster Day, $15 for oysters. And she ate 48 oysters. So let me ask you, the question that we want to throw out there, in getting to know somebody on a first date, where do you even recommend taking a person? Because from my viewpoint and just getting to know somebody, you should go somewhere that's kind of a neutral place. It's not too expensive, whether it's a Starbucks, whether it's a library, maybe even meet in the park. I think these are the kind of things that you have to start doing because people today got motives to go out with you. So let's just talk a little bit about it. I know with me, I'm not the kind of person that's going to take you to an expensive restaurant or somewhere like that, and I don't even know you. I want to get to know who you are. I want to get to know a little about you, your personality, and stuff like that before I end up spending that kind of money. They say the bill ended up being $185 because she ate the oysters and started ordering crab cakes and potatoes and all this other things. And then some of the food she ordered was to take home. Okay, this is a first date, so who are you taking the food home to, first of all? You know what I mean? Yeah, right. Do you got baby kids you trying to take this food home? You want them to know what oysters are like or the crab cakes or what have you? So let's dip into this thing here and give us your viewpoint. So let's ask Ms. Clark, tell me what you think about it.
Well, just the video alone, it looks like she said she was bored. She wanted just something to do. And she got this sucker that, was been trying to holler at her for a while. Why not use him? So basically she was using him for whatever she could get out of him. And he said, hey, I'm just going to only pay for the drinks. I'm not paying for all this food and Ray and all them kids you're trying to feed. So I just feel like if she didn't really want to go, she shouldn't have disrespected herself or, made the guy want to have to pay for a bill that she messed up.
Well, I think it was appropriate that he did pay for the drinks because he asked her out for drinks. So, him paying for the drinks. I don't know who decided to what place they should go. She did. So she decided what place that they should go to have these drinks. And beyond the drinks, she felt like it and got comfortable to where the point is she felt like she could order food and it becomes his bill or his tab. How you feel about that, Brother Mustafa?
One, in this area of Atlanta, it is, I won't say classy upscale or ritzy, but this is the Virginia Highlands area. So as far as anything on the menu, it's going to be pricey like a tapas bar. But she chose to meet him there. He invited her, so she chose this particular place. Automatically, that's an ulterior motive. Now,
I don't know if that's an ulterior motive because if if you ask someone out on a date and you don't suggest a place and they suggest it, I don't think that's the alternative motive. I think the alternative motive, you getting in order
4 plates of 15. Wait a minute, hold up, miss. Hold up.
All right, so go ahead.
So the other, because I've done it. I've even explained this to my mother. I don't know if this is a generational thing. That's my opinion, but I've been out and I've spent $250 on a date. $200 that was me, because it was my. I asked her out, but our first initial date, getting to know each other, she suggested the bowling alley. Bowling alley, totally benign. She didn't order anything. I said, I offered you, do anything to drink or whatever. And, come to find out she's a smoker, not a drinker. You get me? So we were just chilling, and then it was just a nice benign. Every day I've gone with a mature woman is to get to know each other, not run up a tab. This young lady sounded very immature and uncouth, and she doesn't live anywhere near Virginia Highlands. Most like she sounds like she can even afford to rent there. But if you get to know somebody, it shouldn't automatically feel like you're entitled to want to run up a check. Right. He said drinks. He said nothing about no food.
Now, even they said the bill ran up to $185. So even if it ended up being $185 in drinks, I just believe he has to uphold to what he asked out for. He asked out for drinks.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So I don't know if he went into it with an idea of a budget. I don't know whether he knew whether this place was very expensive or not. But I think that if you sit back and you ask someone out for a date, you ask, you pay. That's just the way I do it. I know when me and my wife first started dating and we were getting to know each other, my first thing to her, we as men sometimes try to be over impressive to them, and we put ourselves in a predicament that we can't really handle, right? And then, next thing you know, we dipping into the light bill money because we trying to impress this woman for whatever motive, right? Mm-hmm. But when my wife and I met, I could have took her to a real nice restaurant, but first of all, I went to see if she was for me. We ended up at Old Charlie's 2 for $20, right?
I remember.
So we ended up at Old Charlie's, and she was looking at the menu. I'm like, hey, I don't know why you're looking at that menu. We doing two for 20.
He said, and nephew, she asked could she get a drink. He said, I don't pay for drinks.
I don't pay for drinks, but I established who I was.
I want to see where her gangster's at.
Right.
I said, okay, that was the one for him.
We ended up going to a nice restaurant after we got in tune to one another, and you really look at it like years later, here we are, we're married. But sometimes you got to understand the motive of people, what they into it for. Whether I've had friends of mine that tell me they're on some of these dating sites because that's their way of getting a meal. You know what I mean? Somebody's offering them out to get a meal. Well, I just think that's a whole bad deal.
I'm gonna dig deeper. Here's the entitlement on the male side. I'm gonna say this for the fellas. All right, you talk about the light bill. I done sold my watch. Right, I pawned my watch because I knew I was getting something, and fellas know what I was gonna get. Right, so I say, I'm going through all expenses. And I've been chasing after this young lady for a while. But
what'd you say? You pawned your watch?
I pawned my watch.
How much was it?
Well,
how much you get?
Well, I only bought the watch for a little bit, but I got a little bit more for the watch.
How much is that?
I pawned the watch for about $200. Right, I didn't pay that much for the watch. Right, it was just the fact that
you got $200 out the watch.
It was a replica that I bought overseas. It was a tag heuer, but my intention was to get this lady to the hotel room. Right, and that was the end game. Right, because I had been chasing her. So I know men, their objective. Their entitlement is you take her out, you spend money on her, whatever. But we kind of halfway plan this.
Right.
So our intention together was to get to the hotel room. I didn't have enough. I'm working, I'm struggling, right? I'm trying to, come up, I just started working. So I didn't have enough for drinks, the restaurant, and the hotel. Right. I'm looking at gas, gas light about to come on in the truck. I'm like, okay, all right, I got this. So I got a bottle of rum, went to Taco Mac, got 2 entrees, and then I spent the majority on the hotel bill. Now, some guys, they thinking that if they take a woman out there, that there is going to be an intimate sexual encounter. No.
No. Well, first
No.
of all, you should have
Negative.
bought a bottle of wine.
Rum. I
You
got
brought
rum.
some food
Bought some
and
food.
went back to the hotel, and everything was already in place.
Yes, I had planned out, and then I know that if I'm gonna dip into my budget and I'm a sacrifice, but don't be entitled on both sides, male or female. Just because you take a girl out, don't expect anything. You expect to have fun. Period.
Well, should she
And get to know.
expect anything?
No, because you should know who you're dealing with. But a date is to, like you said, to get to know each other.
But I just think
not
that
run up a bill.
I just think because of the social media and everybody flexing, they on social media flexing money, jewelry,
Yes.
and this and that. And I think that sometimes a lot of people have expectations. I would have totally agree with you that most men, I'm not going to say all, the majority of men expectation is they're going to get some punani when it's all said and done. Most of them. Most women is, and I'm not saying all women's lady, but most of them is like, I'm gonna get him spend. He's spending some Skrilla if he want. You know what I mean?
I want to see how deep his
Yeah,
pocket.
right. And
It goes both ways.
it's just that you go to the point of people out here scamming people. You know what I mean? And you really leave a date not knowing who you was even out with. You know? What do you think about that, Miss Clark?
I totally agree with you on that, Mr. Lamar. I do. I agree that you do all the stuff, the whining and the dining and the how this tastes, you like this, but you never get to know that person. Really get to know that person and what they do with their money, like what, or more details.
Well,
I agree.
And I'm the kind of person like, I'm gonna go somewhere nice to eat. If I go there, it's nice to eat, and you with me, you get to eat nice too. But my thing is that let's not go somewhere really nice to eat, and you just ordering because it's there to order. Like she ordered ate the 48 oysters, and then start ordering crab cakes and all. Don't do to me what you can't do for yourself.
Exactly. Yeah. But see, that's that's experience though, because I did that years ago, and I met this person 10, 15 years ago, and how we met, just had on the humbug, and I was out, conducting some business, and we got friendly, but we were attracted to each other for a while over the years. But the first initial date is, if I'm trying to impress you, it's going to be me personally, the way I'm groomed, the way I treat you, the way I introduce myself, because you're showing your representative. If that involves a dollar sign, that's a number one mistake, because then you're going to have to keep that up.
Right, because I feel like whatever you do in the beginning is what you're going to have to continuously do. Period. So you might as well be you, because like you say, most people you meet in the first place, you meet the representative, because my thing is to impress you. But I think it's more impressive if I'm honest and upfront with you, and you see, hey, well, I mean, he's not a cheap guy, or she's not a cheap date, but we getting to know each other. Let's vibe off each other. Let's see what our conversation and dialogue is like. Let's see where our minds is at. You know what I mean? Because if your mind about spending and mine is about saving, we both in the wrong place.
Let me ask y'all this question as men. If that person knows that you got money, let's say the female knows you have money, right? And you take her out, and she's ordering stuff because she know, oh, my man got it. I know he got it. Is that just as bad as taking advantage of somebody you don't know? If I know that Mr. Lamar got money, and I was like, oh my God, he said he's gonna take me out to dinner. Well, I'm gonna order what I really want to order. I'm
steak and lobster.
Steak and lobster.
Steak and lobster tea.
Some champagne.
And champagne cocktail.
Okay.
Champagne, yeah.
So is that just as bad?
No.
Because I think that you're talking about a situation where I know who you are. So now I know who you are, and you know who I am. So when we go out, first of all, we're not going to go to some shabby place. We're going to go somewhere where you're going to enjoy it, I'm going to enjoy it, and like I said earlier in the conversation, if you ask, you pay. I think that this
should be some balance.
It should be some balance. And another thing I feel like this, that we live in a lot of antiquated ways when it's beneficial to the person. You know, when it's to the person, like, you'll hear a lot of women say a man's supposed to do this and a man's supposed to do that. Man, but what are you supposed to do as a woman? Because we can go back in time, and there was things that women did for men that they're not even going to attempt to do in today's society. Or, everybody hit this false persona, that they pitch out to people, and then when you do it, you gotta keep it up, because you know what, the mask is really going to come off. One day that mask is going to come off, and then I'm gonna see who you really are. And then when I see who you really are, that's when the problems start.
So you've been whining and dining this lady, right? And then, now your pocket's kind of going dry.
Yeah, because she eating all these little portions.
Dating is an expensive habit. It's a sport.
Now your pocket's getting a little dry, and you go to sister and like, hey, we doing 2 for $20 tonight because I can't take you to Frankie's tonight.
Block.
Block.
Like,
what does that mean?
That's what she said. Now I got to block you.
And part of this thing in defense for her, he was chasing her down, because she said he was constantly texting her and all that. But still, I don't think that gave her the right to go into that restaurant and just start ordering food like the way she was ordering. I still, like I said, I think he was obligated to the drinks, because you said, hey, let's go out for drinks. Now, hey, she could have been an alcoholic. You know what I mean? And you didn't know it. Yes. But she steady, give me a wine, give me a wine. I need a shot. Just give me a shot of this and that. You don't know who you're entertaining. And that's why I'm saying, to the point that people don't know who they're entertaining. Because you first of all, like you say, Brother Mustafa, you're taking somebody that's bringing in representative, right? So now you're bringing your representative. So guess what? She might not be this bougie person, but I'm going to play like I'm bougie, because I'm either going to put fear into you, or, you know what, if you think you're going to get this, it's going to cost you. I'm letting you know up front it's going to cost you. You know what I mean? Okay,
so when the lady started ordering, that's what you would have been like, pump your brakes, or you wouldn't have just let.
If she'd have said, okay, the oysters was, they said, I don't know if the whole platter was $15 or was $15 each.
So it's 12 on the plate at Fontaine's, and
so it's 15 times 12.
No, 15 times 4.
4 plates. Right? It's 12 on each plate.
Yeah. Right, but what I'm saying is, it says, so if you get one order, that's $15. And how many orders?
12, about 12. So the bill should came out to be about like $60 $60.
Yeah.
And she ordered 48 oysters. That's 4 plates, right? So $60 on top of drinks, and the drinks there are in Buckhead and Ponce and Virginia High. They're talking about $15 up. Now, if you order a shot, and I've actually been in the bar.
You need to take us there.
Well, I'm just saying, I'm sitting there. If I'm out on a date with you, okay, and this is our first date, and you say, hey, I'm a little hungry, and you want something to eat, okay, I give or take, I buy you something to eat, you know what I mean? But when you sitting there and starting to become obsessive with it, like, okay, I see you slurp down 12 oysters, and you talking about bring me 12 more. Then you talking about some potatoes. Then you talking about crab cake.
And then
what you haven't eaten in a few months or something?
I've been at the counter and turned around. They said 50.
You know what I mean? Like 48 oysters, man. That's over the top.
Yes.
So my thing is this:
plus drinks and crab cakes.
I mean, like, okay, the appetizer was the oysters was appetizer. Mm-hmm. Most people eat appetizer, then they get a meal.
Yeah.
But you got 4 plates of appetizers, and then you want to order a meal, and then you're slurping them down.
But she didn't know how to eat them.
But it wasn't.
I don't think you slurp them.
No.
I don't. No. What it was the fact that in in the recording, out of her own voice, she ate those. I'm not saying she ate the whole plate, but she was probably going to snack along with it, and she just kept ordering. And the issue was, she got all excited. Oh, baby, right? And she kept going. So I really believe that she ordered this because this is not a place that she frequents often in that area. And number two, to show off, to show to media. She look,
did.
girl, it wasn't about him. It was about having these plates. Oh, they set it up there nice. It's sitting in the ice. They got the cocktail sauce in the middle with the lemon. And then, especially if you shucking them, but they've already shook. So they sitting around. She got 4 plates. Then she got the drinks. And you see how she was dressed, how she acted. All of that was for social media.
Well, and
so
this
she can
is
take
one
pictures.
thing.
Ooh, girl, look.
This is one thing in today's society I suggest to people. First of all, when you're going out on a date, you don't need to let everybody know where you're at. Go and enjoy it. Enjoy the time you're with the person. Get to know who that person is.
Thank you.
And you know what? Put the phones down. I know, we have been out sometimes to places and, you walk into a lot of restaurants, something, you steady see people on their phones and taking pictures of their food and all this other kind of. To me, that's kind of like a person that ain't never been anywhere.
Yes.
Because I want to show all my friends where I'm at. I'm going to show this. But my thing is this. You know what? I suggest this. When you go out with someone or you go out with a group of people, you do what I do. Stack the phones. The first one that moved their phone got to pay.
Period.
Your first one that moves that phone has to pay.
Because you're not enjoying
my thing is this. That gives you opportunity for me to know who you are and you to know who I am.
Okay, so your phone started ringing. Then what?
Well, if you want to pay, you answer. You know what I mean? Because I said, first of all, you single. Most people go out on dates are single. Would you say that? Most people that go out for dates are single?
They better be.
Yeah, well, for the most part, yeah. So if your phone start ringing, if you get there and, whether your mother or father and you got kids and you're a single parent, you told your kids, hey, I'm going out, unless it's an emergency, do not call me unless it's an emergency. Or if they younger children, you probably got somebody watching them. You know what I mean? Yeah. So the reason your phone is ringing should only be an emergency because you out on a date. I mean, we're trying to get to know each other.
Right.
And it's there in the phone where you put it on do not disturb
or airplane mode or something.
Yeah. So I mean, because when I took this young lady out and went to a nice steak restaurant in Buckhead, the issue is the fact that our birthdays were very close to each other. So we call it like a Capricorn day. We'll just say it like that if you want, So I wanted to take pictures. I hadn't seen her in a while. It's,
but you can take pictures after you leave the restaurant.
Yeah, so we did that. But, during the time was that we was taking pictures of each other enjoying the meal.
But why?
Because we hadn't seen each other in a while.
But, I mean, you want to see how she chew food or something like that?
No, it was just the fact that we...
I don't get it. I mean, like, if I'm in a place and I'm trying to get to know a person, why are we sitting in this restaurant taking pictures of each other? It doesn't, I mean, I can see like once we leaving, or even if we sitting there waiting for our table or something, clicker, I get that.
Yeah.
But we're sitting at the table and I'm twirling spaghetti and you're going to take a picture of me twirling spaghetti? Come on, man.
And then we had, so what about with the waiter, the waitress or the waiter, they take a picture of us together.
Right, before the meal come out.
No, it was before, during, and after. Then they brought it because they had the cake.
But, okay, so let's go with your narrative.
Memories.
Let's go with your narrative, right? Then who were you or she trying to impress?
We was having fun.
Y'all didn't post those pictures nowhere?
No, that was for us.
Okay.
Yeah. So those pictures didn't end up on social media because once she got them, you don't have no control of them. Just like once you got them, she don't have no control of them.
All right, because I posted it where.
Because you will post something in a minute.
No, but we follow each other. All right.
So in order to follow somebody, you post.
Yeah.
All right, but you just now say you didn't.
Us together.
But that means somebody's following you, somebody following her. If you're posting,
it's a game because no one knows who she was with. No one knows who I was with. All they seen was the place and the food. So if they put two and two.
So what happened to the us pictures?
The us pictures?
You want to say I was doing that there?
Oh no, that's for us.
Okay.
Or I might have took a picture of her.
Like, I'm getting ready. I think I'm getting ready to destroy your game because it don't sound like you really. It doesn't sound. I mean, I know I'm not a big social media fan of posting stuff, but I understand how social media works. And if it's just like, like sometimes when you call me,
I'm not dating her no more. I'm not dating her no more.
When those Falcons win or lose, you
what the Falcons for?
Wait a minute, because I'm talking about posting. I'm talking about how he posts stuff.
So they lost because the Steelers lost. That's why.
No, the Steelers won.
Versus who?
They just won last week. She sat up and watched the game with me.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's get back to this restaurant thing.
You always got to bring up my team.
Bring up
my team.
So
we're not even in the same conference.
And in this restaurant thing, I just think that people go overboard with this social media like that they have to create, because you're creating something or making people believe you're creating something that truly does not exist.
That's probably why he left, because he didn't want her posting him looking like a simp.
Yeah, because is there any pictures of him on? So if there's no pictures of him online, so let's talk about him. Let's talk about him, and I want you to give me a female version about if we are sitting there and I see you ordering all this food, and I get up and excuse me, I'm going to the restroom, and I never come back. How does that make you feel as a woman?
I would be so angry, right? Fuming.
Heated.
I may just run to where the bathrooms are and be like, "What?" and call them out. Yeah. For real, I would be angry.
So you wouldn't be angry that this dude, that you might have set him up that he couldn't pay for this food?
No, because we never even had a conversation about that.
About what?
Who?
He asked you out for drinks.
He asked me out for drinks, but once he saw me, just like I was trying to ask you, once he saw me ordering food, hey, hold up, cowboy, like you would do me.
Okay. Oh, definitely. And because
hold up, easy, cowboy.
Yeah, wait a minute. First of all, I'm like, okay, you got an appetizer, right? Now my thing is this. You get me to order another one. Who is that for? Because I don't eat oysters. Now, I think things are getting a little outlandish.
No, wait a minute. You would be that calm?
No, I would probably, but no, I'm saying I would probably say, okay, you got one appetizer. Who you ordering that one for? And right then when she says, "Oh, I'm ordering this to take it home," I would have left in because I know your motive. Yeah. You're not here for me. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying she got kids or whatever, but you taking this food home so you can have a meal later on tonight.
That's what the king of the podcast said. She was there. She picked that place out, though. And we known each other for years, and how you used to chastise me about my female interaction. I'm not trying to prove anything. I'm older. I'm not trying to prove anything to anybody, right? And plus, I keep my finances private. The fact that he got up and played like he was going to the bathroom was embarrassing to the young lady, but he already felt insulted. Like, man, you got me messed up.
So we getting to know each other. Why not just let you know right then and there how I feel about this situation?
So then that made me as a woman feel like it was okay. He didn't say "Pumpy brakes, cowboy."
Well,
he didn't do any of that.
I mean, right? in so many ways, he could have been a coward. Because, and I say coward, I say coward in this perspective, that I think that when you call yourself a man and you're going to stand up to be a man, okay, I would have you ordered one appetizer. Who are you ordering this? That one's on you because I'm not paying for it. I'd have just outright let you know. And then if I outright let you know that I'm not paying for all those oyster platters that you order, and you make a decision at that point in time, I ain't to do for you, I'm fine with that. But I'm letting you know I will be paying for those drinks. I'll pay for that one oyster platter, but I'm not paying for nothing else.
As a man, right? And we known each other for years, right? You're my senior, I'm your junior. That has, as a man, that's rarely happened. I'm talking about 0.0001% because she already know who you're dealing with when I take you out, right? I'm not to be played with. And what happened was we're going to a nice exclusive soiree or dinner. And I'm dressed up, you're dressed up, we're smelling nice, whatever. Even if you might have overindulged in alcohol, I'm going to get you home safe, right? And then we'll talk about that later. But me, I'm going to pay. I'm going to pay that because I invited you, but you're not going to hear from me again.
You will pay that $185.
I would have paid that $185.
But matter of fact, remember now.
But you're not going to hear from me.
But
more.
She started ordering.
He invited her.
That bill could have ended up $300, $400. So I'm not. Because if you are financially savvy, I'm not even going to let it get to that point.
No,
I'm not even going to let it because
man, not by financial savvy. As a man, though, right?
No, I'm saying as a man, you first of all, let's say this.
I wish you would try me like that.
Let's say this.
You know,
if I invited her out for drinks and I see she overindulging in those drinks, I know right then and there.
It's cut off.
That's it. First of all, as a man, and you drove here by yourself, right? I can't let you overindulge and knowing you got to get behind the wheel of that car, or I got to call your Uber or something to get you home.
Yes.
But that's on me because you know what? I seen you drink, and most people. I'm not a drinker, but most people that drink, because I've been around some alcoholics in my life. And most people that drink, and when they start getting overindulged, you can see it in their face, their reactions. They start saying things they probably would never say. So you see it. So I'm just saying to go out on a date with somebody and you say, hey, let's go out for a few drinks and chitter-chatter, politic and get to know each other. First of all, somebody that's really trying to get to know you is going to be very conservative because even if they are alcoholic, they ain't trying to let you know that on the first date. They might order 1 or 2 glasses of wine.
And I guess that's a really good question for a female to ask males. Like, if you take a woman out on a date and she's modest and she orders very modestly, not trying to take you for your papers, does that make you much more
attracted to her
than somebody who is in the same boat? Y'all going on a date and the woman's like, I want a lobster tail and I want but you're okay because you like, I did invite her out.
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead.
I say it like this.
How do you view women on each side?
Well, I in that instance, I'd say it's because if it's hard to say because you don't know whether you're going to see this person again or not. Because whether you let them overindulge, whether you let them buy lobster and all that, just like you say, you would have paid, but you would have never saw them again.
So my father and I had this conversation before he passed, right? I met somebody, and it's like automatically, I wanted to get to know you as a person. Let's be acquainted. Let's be friends because there's levels to this. And I said, Dad, what is it with these? I said, Pop, what is it with these females today? Every time you ask them out, whatever, first thing they say out their mouth is Papados, right? my dad said, Papados. That's all they want. And my dad started laughing, right? And he kept saying Papados. Because they think that that's an upscale restaurant. And if we sit at the bar, we sit to get an entree, right? I picked up the tab, whether or not in a business meeting or a date. But the automatically thing is that, like I said, back to the representative, women lie, men lie, but numbers don't lie. Back to the money, because that's the reason why women believe in what men say. And women believe in what they hear, and men believe in what they see. That's the reason why men lie and women wear makeup. It's not going to change. Thank God, and I hope it never does. Because going back to what he's saying with antiquated values and everything like that, right, and the generational thing, I don't want a so-called modern woman. I don't want traditional woman because I don't see myself as a high value male. I see myself as a human being. I see myself as somebody that is not entitled, but I do deserve respect because I'm going to reciprocate it. So it's tit for tat. More tit, less tat when I'm paying, right? I mean, because let's have a certain measure of respect. But you get out there, you start saying, "Well, I want to go here and I want to go there." We not going nowhere.
So I want to add.
We're going to McDonald's.
I want to add a little twist to this 48 oysters. I want to add a little twist. What if it was actually reversed? What if she met him at the restaurant, he met her, and they sat back and he started ordering all these oysters, and because there are some women that say, "Hey, I'll take the bill." I've seen women that say, "Hey, I got it, no problem." So you're at the restaurant as this guy trying to get to know her, and you're starting to slurp all these oysters. Let's reverse that. How does it come across there?
I've seen the story. So now I actually seen it in the lead. You know, this is my background. This reached Judge Judy. He met the young lady, and she brought her coworkers as witnesses of what he did. He ran up a bill. I guess they went on a couples cruise, and I believe it was coworkers and other people that are friends. So this guy, he goes on the cruise, and I think I wouldn't really believe it was their first initial date. When you talk about the intimate side, but he ran up a bill, and they're from Atlanta too. They don't Judge Judy. That was the other amazing bill. Like, oh, okay, that's what's going on in Atlanta. So he ran up a bill, and then he skipped out on the tab, and he was trying to compete and impress her, and then her coworkers was trying to fill him out. But I believe it was like a love-hate thing where they was attracted to her too, and then she brought this guy as her date. Like, oh, okay, let's fill this guy out. So they started competing, and her coworkers came like, yeah, he did do that. Yes, Your Honor. He's running up a tab, and then he didn't pay. So when I looked at this was years ago. This was about like 20 years ago. I said, okay, this about 15, 20 years ago. This is the dating scene now here in the 21st century. This is 2000. So all the young lady wanted was to be reimbursed because it was a substantial amount. We're talking about several $100. We're talking about it's almost $1,000, right? And the judgment was for the plaintiff. She won the case.
So if a female does that to a guy and run the bill up, should he be reimbursed?
No.
Well,
no.
I mean,
let's take it further. What if they engage? Some people, I've said one in a business meeting, and this guy was a MBA financial advisor, and he actually exclaimed in the middle of the meeting, right, that he was recently broke off the engagement. Oh yeah, and I got the ring back. You're not supposed to get the ring back, man.
Why not?
It was a gift.
But the gift
legally, that's the gift.
No,
he can ask for it back, and she can give it back.
Legally, let me tell you what it is. Legally, that when I give you this ring to engage you, right? Engagement leads to what?
Marriage.
So I'm giving you a ring to say I want to marry you and we become part of each other. We become one. We become what that Christ say, bone of bone, flesh of flesh, and we become one because now we married.
We talking biblical here, but he broke off.
Wait a minute,
and then he asked for the ring. I was like, that was odd. I never heard of that before. But he broke it off. If she broke it off, I'm going to ask for my ring back. Now, if she broke it off, I'm with the flesh of my flesh, blood of my blood. When I say I'm marrying you, love, honor, and obey, respect till death do us part, that's in that ring, right? And that's what the ring means. That's the whole. But if she breaks it off and says she don't get married, I ain't obeying nobody, then I'm going to need my ring back. Because you broke a vow.
No, you're not married, so there's no vow that's been broken.
No, the engagement. We engaged,
right? You broke the engagement, but you ain't break the vow. Because there's no vow, because
we didn't get to the vows. But he said
whether he did it or she did it, I mean, he bought the ring.
He said that he broke it off.
Okay, did she still want to get married though? If she still didn't want to get married, then hey, you know what I mean.
This guy was weird,
but there's a lot of things that go on that we can look at. That I sometimes said flip the narrative. Flip the narrative. There's some of the things that women do, flip the narrative. Some of the things that men do, flip the narrative.
I agree.
And let's look at it from a different perspective. Because when you flip the narrative,
look at it like, okay, I'm getting ready to meet you for the first time, and I say, you know what? What's your favorite restaurant? I want to take you someplace you like, and you say Bonefish Grill, for instance. Okay. So I go to Bonefish Grill because that's your favorite. I asked you out, and so my understanding is I'm going to treat him because I asked him out, asked him what his favorite restaurant was, take you there. You start ordering. Okay. So you ordering appetizer. You say you don't drink, so you just getting refills on tea. Okay. Then we're just, then you order entree. And he's like, well, I have never tried this, so I want to try this. No, Dorshell, why don't you order this and we'll try this too? So I'm ordering things that you want because I'm treating you. We're still on the same level. I'm still on the same track. He's ordering what he wants. We trying other things. It's all still focused on him. Okay, now it's time for desserts. He gets a dessert. Then, I'm like, if I couldn't afford it, I shouldn't have took you there.
And I agree with you totally.
That's the whole point.
I agree with you totally. But
if he knew he was going to buy drinks at that Fontaine place, with the upscale restaurant.
It was never about drinks. It was never, if you look at it and you listen to it was never about drinks. It was about, she started ordering all his food.
Yes.
He didn't invite her out to eat. He invited her out for drinks. Now, from what I understand, when you invite somebody out for drinks, most of the time, stable-minded people kind of figure that's 1 or 2 drinks because I got to drive back home and this, that maybe two, 3 drinks. They understand that. So no matter where you go, even if you go somewhere high scale, right? You figure, hey man, if I drink, because I already know, as me, if I ask you out, I already know if when I walk in this place and I see what drinks cost and stuff like, I might get 1 drink and nurture it the whole time I'm talking to you, right? Yeah. Because you may, or because I ought to take you out for drinks. You might order 1 drink and say, hey, let me get another drink. You might order a 3rd drink. Okay, I'm playing into my pocket because I know what my pocket can handle, right? Yeah. So let's just say you order 3 and I order 1. We kind of going to figure for most people, places that's upscale, that's anywhere from a $80 to $100 bill right there.
Yeah. And,
you know what I mean?
As you described the restaurant, it must be very upscale, and that dude had to know that.
Yeah,
well, he might not have known because she the one suggested the restaurant.
It was her idea because even being back in the day, being in the financial world, we all suited up, or being in the military, dudes done did each other like that. Hey, next round on you. Well, look, time out. Right, so we started buying drinks, and dude would get around, and the other dude would get around, and then the bill come to you, right? And it happened to my friend. We was in an upscale restaurant. We was in Barney's, we was in Barney's downtown Atlanta, right? Breakfast at Barney's. We talk about mimosas and brunch and everything like that, whatever. Not saying he didn't even drink. It was just the fact that we were enjoying brunch at an upscale restaurant. The bill came, everybody went right back to the phone. This is what everybody did. They started going in the phone. Oh, yeah, I got a business meeting. Yeah, let me check my email. And he looked at me. I said, see, he picked up the tab. And when he ran his card, we got back to the car. I said, see, even dudes will tap your pockets to see what you work with.
Well, I mean, that's just people, and you should know the people. I mean,
it's like you take somebody out for their birthday.
Like with us. We might have something at our house at the event, like say boxing or something going on like this. You know what? Because of those situations and stuff like that, I always tell her, and Dorshell can vouch for this. I said, she was like, I said, don't tell nobody to bring nothing. We gonna cover it. Okay. Right? So once they come, you come to enjoy yourself, and then you out. You know what I mean? But I ain't asking you to bring up, because you can ask somebody to bring something, and they come and they know what kind of people you're around. Here they come with a bag of chips, one bag of chips. Some people come with a 6-pack of soda, or they'll go buy whatever. But the thing is, to prevent me from going hostile, I said, don't worry about it. We got it covered. But my thing is getting back to this 48 oysters. My thing is this. He invited her out for drinks, not food. Now, my thing is, in that conversation of I'm inviting you out for drinks, meaning that for me as a man, and I'm meeting you somewhere for drinks, is meaning that we're going to have conversation. Okay, we can't have conversation with you slurping down 48 oysters. You know what I mean?
They didn't have any conversation. That's why he jumped up and left.
Right, because he
knew it wasn't about him.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just like I have clients that they go out on some of these date sites and stuff like that and meet people, and some of the clients be like, man, when I got there, I could just see it just didn't click, and they still went on to pay for a meal or whatever. But like you say, Ms. Albert, they never seen the person again. Dating is a very, very expensive experience in today's society, because even if you taking to somebody to Chick-fil-A or Zaxby's, man, you can end up running up a bill at Chick-fil-A and Zaxby's. No doubt.
But I mean, because people have to understand, and I like saying it's a generational thing. One thing we have to understand, dating is a competitive sport. It is. Because like I said, when you're putting your representative up there, you got to look like it's the NFL, NBA draft, right? And somebody's going to go from the first round all the way down to the lowest round. We talking about Mr. 152, right? Brock Purdy, at San Francisco 49ers. But the issue is you never know how that person is actually going to be when they get in the game. You pick that person. Whether first round draft pick, they're going to want that extension. They're going to want that bonus. We're talking about Giannis, the Greek freak. And you put them in the game and they are bust. It is a competitive sport. So when you go in there, you got to look like yourself, like you are the coach, the GM, right, and the owner. You better be thinking like Jerry Jones and like you got pockets like Mr. Kraft. You got to be looking at it like you are Jerry Jones or Arthur Blank. If you can't think like that, you shouldn't even step into the arena.
And then, are you really out there competing with yourself?
That's a secret. See, why you always got to dig deep, right? One thing is, if you want to impress this person because you really, really like them and you want to be with them, maybe short term, long term, or just casual, you competing against. I want to show myself how bad I can get down.
Well, right? Let me ask you this, and this question is out for you too. Do you think that it's more impressive of telling somebody who you really are rather than trying to be somebody that you're not?
Well, that's maturity. See, you go into the part where this is the part I know about you. When it comes to maturity and experience, it tops ego or education, whatever that you do. I've sat there at the bar around the corner. We're at California Kitchen in Lenox Mall. So the young lady was sitting next to an older gentleman, and he was just enjoying his cocktail. And to go back what you were saying, right? I want you to reiterate that. Say that one more time. That needs to be heard.
Is it more impressive to be honest with somebody than to sit back and try to impress them?
And who you're competing against. That's
because you as your representative, right? And I've heard, the other talk show host says that's the reason why I use that. But truthfully, from my heart, from my mind, as I've matured and worked on my personality, my spirituality, I want to be the best I can be, and that's being the genuine me. The best I can be is to be the genuine me right there with you at that point. So I like you, and I want you to like me. But if you don't like me, then it turns to just business.
So the desire to want a person that you really, really like, and you really, really like this person, and if it all pans out, this means you have some kind of long-term relationship with this person. But then the chaos came because you lied in the beginning.
Period.
And most people will say, especially most women say, you lied to me in the beginning. You probably been lying to me all along.
Some people got all the way to the altar and passed the marriage vows and then got home. Right? That's happened to me. Then on top of that is a gentleman I met, a client, and we get to talking in the driveway, and he said there's a difference between love and like, young man.
How about love and lust?
Yes. Well, he didn't get there because he'd been married for 27 years, right? And you can lust after your wife, like, I can't wait to get home. But it's compartmentalized. We all have those human desires, whatever. But the reason why I took this person out on a date is because I kind of thought that I kind of liked them.
And I lust them. You lust after them and you like them. You like them and lust them.
I'm going to get the draws anyway. It ain't got nothing to do with lust. You know what I mean?
And that's not necessarily, because if they don't want to give you the draws, then that's called rape.
No, that's lust is an illusion, right? And no means no. I mean, I would have walked out when she said no, and I wouldn't have walked out and played like we were going to the bathroom. But he should have said no too. Hey, miss, no.
Yeah,
hold on.
Breaks.
But right? I would have said.
Now, if they got to wait to the hotel
Latanya,
room,
I really don't know you, Latanya. So I'm not going to sit here and just allow you to just start ordering stuff on my
No, Equana. So you already know we Equana.
You're not going to sit here.
He's trying to get Equana drunk. He's trying to get Equana drunk back to the hotel room.
You're not going to sit here.
So.
You're not going to sit here and just
Equana
order.
Equana didn't want him.
She
said it.
I'll give you.
She a thought.
I just can't see it that I'm gonna allow someone to sit in front of me and take advantage of me.
No,
and there's not a. I mean, I know me as a woman, I'm not that kind of woman. I never take advantage of people, even if I know they got it, because one day I might really need them, and they'll be there for me.
But Mr. Dorshell, I'm speaking to senior, mature adults that have been in a relationship, that have been my friends for more than a decade. So I know y'all. When you go on a date and you told me how y'all met, I'm gonna pan that. I'm gonna put that, and I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna take a page from that book because it works.
Well, you can't now because old Charlie's just closed.
No. I don't know what's happening. Well, you said that right. The thing that happened to me was I've been in a long-standing relationship because it was over football, and we went to Chili's, and we kind of like, first of all, first thing I'm gonna do, right? I'm gonna check your coin. No. I'm gonna check your passport because we going Dutch.
Hey, let me say this: Dutch. If you go out with somebody and they wanna go meet at a restaurant, so I'm gonna tell you how you can really
Chili's,
Applebee's. I mean, even if you go to this Frontiers,
Frontier.
What's the place that this girl
Taco Mac, the Fontaines.
Okay, even if you go there, you know what? You want to get an appetizer? Well, we're going to share that appetizer. Now that's going to tell me whether you really hear. Because you know what?
People don't like to share.
No, people don't like to share. We live in a very selfish society. No, you better get your own oysters because I'm getting mine. These mine. This girl slurped down 48 oysters. You talking about 12 to a platter.
We can't corroborate that.
That's 6 apiece, right?
Yeah, that's 6
That's 6 apiece. If she slopped down 48, she don't want to share.
And then order crab cakes.
Right.
And potatoes.
This booger wolf don't live nowhere near Buckhead or Virginia Highlands.
Well,
She from Southwest.
I don't know where she live at or what she do. I don't even know what she do for a living or whatever. The reason I'm going to just tell you something. If I go out with you and I'm going to say, all right, let's get an appetizer. Let's get an appetizer. So... we get an appetizer, especially if it's dip and stuff. People, real, yeah. So, or you get your bang bang shrimp and all this other kind of stuff. But we sharing, all right. So if we sharing, now we got to vibe with each other. Because you know what? Some people, her with the 48 oysters, she trying to eat more than you do, right? Like. Even though it's
24.
It's 12 to a platter. You get 6, she gets 6, right? But you might feel more comfortable with that situation because you ordered and you're eating some of the oysters as well. But we talking about somebody that ate 48 oysters by themselves.
And then ordered crab cakes.
And ordered crab cakes and potatoes and pouring the butter on
She paid the bill, though.
Because she had no choice but to pay the bill.
Because she's gonna be back here washing dishes. She's going to jail because
she don't have no choice. But I mean, what's smart enough for her to even bring a credit card enough money? And I think everybody should. You need to bring a credit card enough money because you don't know that person. I mean, she could have ordered that food and then told him, "Let me go to the ladies' room. I'll be right back," and kept getting up. And guess what? The bill would have been on him. Like I said, sometimes you always got to flip the narrative. He just got her before she got him. Because if you're sitting here, because in the beginning of the video, you hear her say, he kept texting me, I don't even know why I'm going out with this NI. You know what I mean? I don't even know why I gave him a chance and this and that. So she could have got there, ordered her crab cakes, her oysters, her drinks and everything, and said, let me go to the ladies' room, and never came back.
Well, in her defense, since she had the ability to pay herself and leave, and minus her vernacular, the way she talks, I think she really looks like this guy invited her out. She didn't want to give him the time of day. She finally did, and look what he did, right? And
but look he what wasn't. You did.
But he wasn't. She looking like he wasn't on her level. She had the ability to pay. But he invited her out, and with this,
maybe he was intimidated. I wouldn't say I don't because I don't know him. I don't know her. I'm not saying
he might have been intimidated.
I'm not saying that he couldn't have paid. He might have been just intimidated because I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this as a man, and you get a woman that's used to quality things, used to doing quality things, used to going to nice places, wearing quality things. For some guys, that's very intimidating. And what I mean by, you go to this restaurant and you sitting there and, you know, she's ordering all this food. First of all, you're sitting there wondering when she gonna stop. You know what I mean? Like, when is she gonna stop? You done wiped out the right side of the menu.
They're going to the left side. The left side has no prices. That's market value. Like, hold up.
You know, so
pump your brakes.
At some point in time, he might have got intimidated. He might have just sat back and got intimidated because, you know, is it going to be this way every time we go out?
Yeah, I believe so. And I mean, that again, like I said, right, from a junior man to from a younger adult to an older adult. That's the experience, though, because the thing is, over the years, as things have changed generationally and what's become a fad or the end thing, that doesn't change. That doesn't change because at the same time, you know, I said to somebody, the entitlement. Right. But he might have been intimidated. You know, oh, wow, we in Virginia, Posse Highlands. And, you know, she might have been from 044, right up the street, right on the other side of Midtown. And then when he got there and she started ordering these things in the recording, she's like, ooh, baby, right? And then she went next to the crab cakes. She still had the ability to pay, but the fact that he was intimidated places the part that he got up and he left. And he knew what he was doing. He invited her out to drinks, and then he got up and he played like he went to the bathroom.
Even if I'd have stayed, I would like, hey, you know what? Here's the money for the drinks. The rest of the stuff is on you.
Yeah, period. I
would have just did that.
That would have been the most.
Or to protect myself, I would have said, waiter, all the drinks is on me. The rest of the bill is hers.
I've seen that one.
I would have just said that. I mean, you know, if I'm gonna stay there and stay there for conversations. I mean, I totally get what you said. I'm gonna be man enough. I'm not walking away. I'm gonna tell you what I can do and what I can't do. Yeah. Okay, I invited you out for drinks. Waiter, give me the bill for all those drinks, and I got you, and I'll pay that bill. Now, all that food and them oysters and crab cakes and crab legs and all that, you need to speak with that young lady right there.
Because the difference that I got was the fact that they met there. She picked the place out. If I took you there, if I invited you out and I took you there and you started ordering all that stuff, right, I might say something, but I'm going to pay, and you're not going to see me again. You messed up. And see me, you know,
but it probably didn't matter to her because she didn't want to go out with him in the first place.
No, but a lot of women today, they don't understand why the dude don't call her back. Like, he seen something in you, right, that he didn't like, right? And that was it. You know, boom, on to the next. But, you know, lastly, it was the fact that he invited her out. They met there. She picked the spot. If I took you out, I wish you would. If I picked you up and took you out on a date to somewhere nice, like Bonefish Grill, or even when we went out to drinks like Whiskey Mistress in Buckhead, and I turn around and then the bartender is like, "Hey, it's gonna be boy. Okay, let me cash out $150 for what?" I'm gonna be looking at her like, okay, I'm gonna get her coat, boom, and I'm not even walking her to the door.
You're gonna constantly be a constant gentleman. I get it. But so just to wrap this thing up, you know, we had a situation where, you know, you're trying to get to know somebody, and to our listeners out there, I would suggest if you're trying to get to know somebody, whether you're using these dating sites, a friend, family, or foe, I think when you're trying to get to know somebody, you should not try to be impressive, but be you. I think that you need to be you. And if you can handle going out to a very expensive restaurant, that's you, do you. If you can't handle but Applebee's, then do Applebee's. I think let people know who you are, because when you put these expectations out there, then people expect for you to be that, present that at all times. So, you know, I'm not going to sit here and make any judgment call of whether the young lady was wrong or whether the gentleman was wrong. All I know is this. We got to find better ways to get to know each other. We got to find better ways to use social media to a good instead of a twisted way, because the twisted way is she got on social media and gave her side. We never heard his side. But, you know, let's think about the things we do. Let's think about how we go about treating ourselves as well as others. And once again, you can listen to us at peoplethinkaboutit.com. You can donate to our site at peoplethinkaboutit.com. You can reach out to us at peoplethinkaboutit@gmail.com. We want to thank our guest for being here, Brother Mustafa.
Thank you for inviting me.
You know, he will take you out on a date, but don't play him.
Thank you.
But don't play Brother Mustafa.
All right, hold on.
You know,
Bump your old brakes.
You know, I suggest, keep it real.
I will
So we want to thank you guys once again for listening to People Think About It. Think about what you do before you do it. Just think about it.
You've been listening to People Think About It. Be sure to subscribe to the show and share it with your friends so that you never miss an episode. A new episode drops every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Thank you for listening.
That's me.